gang, welcome back to the channel. Today we got a quick look of the Epiphone Inspired by Gibson ES-335 Traditional Pro. So my buddy Michael Nielsen of Big Hairy Guitars, Big Hairy Profiles, has a gold Gibson ES-335, and I've lusted after that thing ever since I saw him playing it. And also, if you're a Kemper user, you should definitely check out Big Hairy Profiles, because Michael makes some killer amp profiles for the Kemper. I use a ton of them. I would say probably 75% of my recordings use, Michael's Big Hairy Profiles. So you should definitely check those out if you're a Kemper user. But anyway, like I said, he's got a gold ES-335, real Gibson, and I've kind of wanted one of those ever since I saw him playing his. This is actually an Epiphone, and I thought maybe it might scratch that itch. So this is the metallic gold traditional pro version of the Inspired by Gibson ES-335, and that is a Guitar Center exclusive. And basically what it does is it adds the push-pull coil taps for each of the humbuckers. So when these first came out, I went and got one of the Inverness green ones, and I probably jumped the gun on that one a little bit, to be honest. It was the only one that was available to me local, so I went ahead and grabbed it, but it ended up kind of being a dog. It was kind of tonally dead, really, so it didn't last very long. And then, over the next, year or two, whenever I would come across one, I would play it, and I kind of realized, or I kind of, started seeing a trend that some of them were good, and then some of them weren't that great. And I'm not exactly sure why that is. I have a theory that I think that, these are layered, wood guitars and, laminated. And I think just on some of them, all the materials just kind of gel together better than others, maybe. This one here, this particular one here, is really nice. It's really resonant. When you play it, you can feel, the whole guitar vibrating. The neck vibrates, the body vibrates. You can feel the guitar body against your body, vibrating. And I definitely know my old green one did not do that. And another thing, this one is pretty light. This one is 7.4 pounds. I didn't actually get around to weighing my old green one, but it was definitely a lot heavier than this. And I also have another theory that lighter weight guitars just, in my experience, seem more resonant anyway. And the lighter guitars always seem to be, better guitars. Maybe I'm crazy, but I just, most of the guitars that I have that are really resonant and really nice tend to be on the lighter end of the weight scale. Like I was saying, it's a 5-piece laminated maple, guitar body. The top, the sides, and the back, all laminated. And like I said, when I came across this one, I noticed the lightweight, right off the bat. And then when I started playing it, I thought, oh, this one's different, So, and the fact that it was the metallic gold, it was kind of a no-brainer. I just went in and snagged it. mahogany. It obviously is a, you know, set neck, and it's got an Indian laurel fretboard. You know, Indian laurel is you're starting to see that on a lot of guitars as a replacement, you know, for rosewood. And I think as long as the coloring's right, you know, yeah, I'd rather have rosewood, but honestly, the Indian laurel's, it's not that bad. I don't have any problem with it. Regular viewers, you know, subscriber to my channel, I'm sure you're asking yourself, did he replace the tuners? Well, of course I did. I put a set of the Graph Tech ratio locking tuners on that, and in order to do that, you do got to push out the ferrule and then enlarge the holes. And like I always say, if you're going to enlarge the holes, use a reamer. Don't use a drill bit. I think if you're asking, you know, if you're using a drill bit, you're asking for trouble. So I find if you do about 80% from the back and 20% from the front, you know, you can get the tuners in there no problem. The neck profile on this is basically identical to the Epiphone SG metallic gold guitar that I did a video for a while back. I don't know if it's my imagination, but the fretboard edges, they're rolled on this, but they don't seem quite as rolled on this one as they do on that SG. But it could be my imagination. But it is a comfortable neck. It's kind of in a sweet spot there. It's got a little girth to it, but it's not, you know, super thick or chunky. It's not real thin or anything like that. It's just very, very comfortable neck. It kind of reminds me a lot, actually, of the neck on my Heritage H-535 guitar as well. So I'm definitely happy with the neck. Some of the other features of the guitar, it's got a Graph Tech new bone nut, which is a great nut. I did do a little work on the D and the G slots because, you know, as you would expect on a guitar with like a Gibson style headstock, you know, with the angle of those, you know, just need a little attention there after I did that. You know, guitar definitely stays in tune better. Moving down here, we got a set of the Alnico Pro Classic humbuckers. They're Alnico 5 magnets in those. Got a 3-way switch. Volume and a tone for each, you know, the pickups, and the volumes do have a push-pull coil split for the humbuckers, which is nice. And then it's got the Epiphone lock tone bridge and tailpiece. So we'll do some tone samples for you. Of course, that means we're going to do the same riff that we always do, among some others. So you will find that some people, like the Alnico Pro Classic humbuckers, and then some people don't. I have found that they seem to be really sensitive to the height that you have them at. I don't worry so much about actual measurements, when I'm setting, the height of my pickups. I just kind of do it by ear, keep tweaking until it, sounds good to me. And on these, I found, like I said, they do seem to be really sensitive to the height that you have them at. If you have, especially the neck, if you have it too high or too low, the neck humbucker can sound not that great really, but if you tweak it and keep working on it, you can get it to sound good. I like the way the neck sounds now. I've even gone as far as to, adjusting the individual heights of the actual pull pieces on mine. And I just, like I said, just keep tweaking by ear until, I like the sounds that I get out of this guitar now. So if you do find yourself in the market for, one of these, I would strongly suggest you try out as many of them as you can. If you have to order online and you have nowhere to actually go to play them, just make sure you're getting it from a place that has a good return policy in case you get a dog. Like I said, I really think that some of these are dogs and some of these can be a really, really nice guitar. I really lucked out when I found this one, being the real lightweight, plus being the color that I wanted. And it just seems like, the sum of all the parts on this one, and, the laminate body and all that stuff, it just kind of gelled into being a nice resonant, guitar for me. Like I said, I did have one of the Inverness green ones when they first came out, and it really was a dog. It was dead, didn't have a lot of life. And then I've played other ones, around town, and, as I travel, if I come across one, I always kind of, just, pick it up off the wall and, test it out. And like I said, some of them have seemed really, really nice, and then some of them are, tonally dead dogs, as I like to say. So if you are interested in one of these, I would suggest, playing as many as you can to try to find a gem out there. Another thing to watch for on the traditional Pro version of the Inspired by Gibson ES-335 by Epiphone, Guitar Center will often run these on sale. So you can often find them for, $100 to $150 off of the normal price. And they tend to do that several times throughout the year. So keep your eye out for that too. So gang, that'll about do it for the quick look of the Epiphone Inspired by Gibson ES-335 Traditional Pro in metallic gold, the Guitar Center exclusive version. I want to thank you guys for checking it out with me. We'll see you next time.